diet of gruel, whatever small animals they might snare. This was the height of luxury, the kind of feast that their former masters enjoyed, and which they had only ever dreamed of. Wine, bread, and fruit taken from the kitchens of the estates that had been sacked by the slaves were freely distributed on the orders of Ajax. As his followers feasted, Ajax made his way from fire to fire, congratulating those who had fought in the ambush. It did his heart good to see how the ragged, cowed fugitives who had joined his struggle against Rome were now so full of fight. Where he led in battle, they would follow unquestioning. He had nursed their ambition with small raids on estates and villages, and then attacks on Roman patrols. Only when he'd been sure that they were ready did he plan the previous night's ambush. One more step in his desire to defy and destroy Rome and all it stood for. In time, his followers would come to share his vision as fully as he did, and Rome would tremble as it beheld a tide of those it had treated as little more than things rise up to overwhelm the empire. Ajax allowed himself a moment to indulge in the dream of Rome being crushed beneath his heel. Then he reined in his imagination and focused on the immediate future. A small battle had been won. Now was the time to exploit the victory before the Romans could recover from the shock of the defeat. As the fires died down, the slaves finished the last scraps of their feast and drank the last of the wine. Returning to the center of the camp, Ajax climbed onto a wagon piled high with captured equipment and stood atop the driver's bench, sword in one hand, standard of the Batavian cohort.
Let them go the moment I say. He judged the approach carefully, and when the boat was no more than 50 feet from the shore, he called out, "Now!" The sail flapped up and billowed freely in the wind. The fishing boat rapidly lost way. Just before it grounded, Yanis heaved on the steering oar. The craft surged round and bumped gently on the stone ramp. Their arrival had been noticed by some of the sentries guarding the steps up to the palace, and a section of legionaries led by an optio came marching down the ramp. "What's all this then?" Max indicated the spears. "Between those! Make straight for the wall!" They ran past, carrying the hastily assembled ladders under their arms. All made it safely through, except one of the men from the last team, who suddenly screamed in agony, released his grip on the ladder, and collapsed to the ground, howling as he pulled the spike out of his crippled foot.
You mean he was ordering something else instead?
That's cracking parking, that, isn't it? There's an actual parking space right next to you. But Alan would just stop in the road.
That's not called parking, that's called abandoning.
Yeah. Well, that was a pointless overtake, wasn't it?
Which one?
They getting the ball there.
Oh yeah. So you matched?
Yeah. So we get to the end of it. You're starting to piss me off, you are, man.
Which one?
The dickhead behind me.
Trying to overtake?
This wanker here. You can't wait for it to turn into two lanes.
Well, at least he's out of your way now. Aha, he hasn't got past that one.
Oh, he's going for
Oh,
it
is
though.
he going? Yeah. Look, he's...
Which is
Well, we'd
why
rather...
he's on camera.
We'd rather a dickhead gets
Put me
out
on
of the way.
there.
His feet. "Bloody warships," he grumbled. "Who in their right mind would ever volunteer to join the Navy?" He had been on board for over 2 months now, and was beginning to doubt that the
That's a bit of a
small
piss
force
take.
dispatched to hunt
National
down the
Express.
fugitive gladiator and his surviving followers would ever find them. The last sign... "Enough," Cato intervened. You are here to answer our questions, not ask your own. Tell them what you
straight through the bread.
Amides, said
Dick.
Petronius. Ship had killed its crew. We have been pursuing him for some months now. Amides stared at Cato suspiciously.
Quality bit of driving
I
there.
don't believe you. Petronius nodded towards Cato. Having rowed to one side, and two scribes sitting on mats on the other side of the dais, one to take down the words of the governor, another the comments from his guests. At first, only a few voices were raised to denounce the governor, accusing him of concealing renegades within the ranks of the Roman forces occupying Egypt. Petronius listened to the arguments for a moment, until too many voices were calling out for any sense to be made of what was said. He leaned towards Macro. Centurion, be so good as to shut them up for me. Yes, sir. It was a bitter thing to swallow, but there was nothing that could be done about it. The wind strengthened during the day, and the ships ploughed through a choppy sea,
Where are you
sending
going?
clouds of spray exploding into the air as the bronze-capped rams punched through the swell. Then, in the middle of the afternoon, there was a faint crash.
Stupid